Now, one player looking like they won't be on the field is Rams tight end Tyler Higbee. Higbee was out of practice with a knee injury. Head coach Sean McVay saying Higbee is doubtful for the big game. But good news elsewhere on the injury front. Running back Cam Akers and wide receiver Van Jefferson, they both were participants at practice. And Joe Noteboom, he was limited at practice. We welcome you here to our beautiful set in Marina Del Rey. I'm Sherry Burris alongside Jonathan Jones, Brady Quinn, Danny Kanell. Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Looking at Tyler Higbee, what kind of impact, JJ, will it have if he is not out there?
Yeah, and I think the Rams understand that it is very unlikely that they're going to have Tyler Higbee out there. And it's interesting because this is a Rams offense that obviously uses 11 personnel more than any other NFL team that there is. In fact, the Bengals are second to them. And so 11 personnel meaning, of course, one running back, one tight end. He's been the guy. However, Kendall Blanton, young guy out of Missouri, when he has gotten his opportunities here in the playoffs, he's been stepping up. Go back to the San Francisco 49ers game 2 weeks ago where he had 5 catches for 57 yards. Go back to the week before against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, got his first career touchdown. So I'm interested to hear from you guys, though, because when you talk about a tight end who doesn't have that many reps out there, doesn't have a lot of film, does that help the Rams that, they have a guy that the Bengals don't really know what he can or cannot do?
I don't know if it really helps, hurts. You'd like to have a guy you feel more comfortable with, experience with. Tyler Higbee's obviously that. I think the biggest question more becomes, when you put him in for things like pass pro, or if you put him on a critical third down where he's the guy you want to isolate and match up with, it was Higbee. Now it goes to Bland. Do you like that matchup quite as much? Those are some of the questions you're going to be asking yourself. And they might run a lot of 11 personnel. Where it really hurts them is when they go to 12 personnel. Now you're looking at saying when you get those 2 tight end sets in with one running back and you want to run the football, because I do think, the lesser of the groups, if you're looking at the Cincinnati defense, is when they're in base personnel, not when they're in nickel, not when they have Mike Hilton on the field who's able to kind of cover a guy like Cooper Kupp. And so it takes you out of feeling more comfortable getting those 2 tight end sets and running the football, which is something that we've seen them do throughout the course of the playoffs and maybe is a more favorable matchup. So that's more the concern in my mind. But, Danny, it's a Super Bowl. He's got 48 hours. I know it's doubtful, but you're doing all you can to try to get in this game and play.
Which I almost feel is the worst situation, because that unknown, like you want to be able to prep your game plan like who's going to be there. It's hard to build a game plan around a guy and say, well, we hope he's going to be there. But then if you don't, because I would imagine there's a lot more confidence in what Higbee can do than Blanton. And when you're scheming up plays and designing things and talking about using 11 versus 12, you kind of want to know what you're working with. And the fact that you possibly don't, it just adds one layer of uncertainty that you don't want to have at this point in the game. But, I'm with you. I think you do whatever it takes to get out there. But I think clearly I think it's one of the more underrated positions, especially for these 2 quarterbacks because of pressure. Yeah. Burrow, from the actual pressure of a rush defense that's going to be coming after him. A tight end's always a pretty good release valve. You can quick out him, get the ball out of your hands. And then from a pass protection issue. Yeah. And for Matthew Stafford, quick, easy throws, I think, of the tight end. It's a security blanket to kind of build up your confidence. So with both teams dealing with it, I think it's an interesting dynamic that hasn't been discussed a lot.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.